Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Welcome back from the weekend into the show. It's the End of the Bench, 100.7 The Score. I'm Rob Breaux alongside David Collier, Lucas White behind the glass. We are in the First Shawnee Bank studio. You can call us on the Visual Edge IT hotline, 806-771-0973. You can also hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Lots of stuff to talk about today. Obviously, Texas Tech football now in the pole position in the Big 12 after beating Utah. I've got some thoughts on Utah, certainly, but I think we'll focus on mostly Texas Tech today. We've got Big 12 power rankings to go through at some point in the third hour, and we will hit all your highs and lows, check the calendar, and all that stuff we normally do. We'll have headlines up next. But let's dive right into this Texas Tech game. David, we went into this game saying we don't really know anything about either team.
No.
Because of the schedules, because of who they've played. People tried to tell me we knew more about Utah because they played on the road. But UCLA has fired a coach. And Wyoming is not good. We all saw that.
Yeah.
So when Utah struggled in the first half and got hot in the second half, you take that into account. And so I was pretty nervous in this Texas Tech game the entire time. But when's the last time, and we'll take Oklahoma here too. When's the last time you saw Texas Tech and Oklahoma win in the same weekend and you could point to both schools and say, man, those defenses were the reason you won those games?
Well, for Texas Tech, like Oklahoma had a good defense last year. They had no semblance of an offense a year ago, and they really don't right now either.
Have a John Mateer.
Yeah, a John Mateer, yeah. But for Texas Tech, now I might be missing a year in here in a game, but yeah, those defenses had good offenses to work with. I was going back to like 8 and 5 and stuff like that.
There's a couple of games like in the Matt Wells era.
Yeah.
Let's say the West Virginia and Baylor games, I think in the same season. Was that 19, 20, whatever it was? The Colin Schooler stuff at the goal line.
Yeah, that's true. Colin Schooler saved that, yeah.
You had the forced fumble, maybe return to retake the lead against West Virginia. The scoop and score.
Yeah, but that's like a moment.
Those are moments.
That's a moment. That's not a game.
And you held them to 24 maybe, and you won 27-24, something like that. This was, you had one drive where it was like, all right, they're tired.
Yeah.
But what happened after that drive? You scored, and then they came out, Texas Tech's defense, like it was the first drive again.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that much where you get punched in the mouth on defense and then come out re-energized.
Well, and also in the first half, it's not like you were going down and scoring and taking time off the clock and they were resting and you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
So it was like, hey, we're just trading defensive series here, wearing each other out. And for the most part, and like you said, after they scored, one of the 2 times they scored?
The one touchdown.
Yeah, the one touchdown.
And that was to make it 13-10. And at that point, I'm like, all right, we're going to counterpunch here for the rest of the game.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, man, this is.
And you punched, you landed a right hook, you scored a touchdown. And then they flopped. Or you punched again.
I think
it was a combo.
Yeah, I think they have a good defense, right?
They have a good defense.
I think they do not have a good offense. I think it's much like what we just mentioned a moment ago with Oklahoma. They have a quarterback that can run. John Mateer probably throws better than Devin Dampier. But I don't – and this is not a slight at all because Texas Tech defense is certainly good.
Yes.
I mean, the numbers, and again, I know some of the competition they played, but still, they're certainly good.
I think that's going to be a good rushing attack, and Devin Dampier is going to score some points in the Big 12.
Yes.
And you completely stopped what they wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think going forward, they're probably going to be a decent football team.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to score 24 points to beat everybody, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
They do against Texas Tech.
And they might average 24 and get 30 in one game and 20 in the next, and they've already scored 10 once. They'll do some of that this year. Is that the best offense you're going to play this year? Probably not.
Probably not.
I think Houston has a better offense. I think Wegman's probably better than Dampier right now, throwing the ball.
Yes.
Throwing the ball.
Yes.
Dampier's one of the best running quarterbacks in the Big 12. I think Kansas will have a better offense, certainly.
Yes, I do too.
And maybe UCF.
Right? Man.
I did not move UCF too much in my power rankings.
I didn't either, but I probably should.
I've got an eye on them.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
I've got an eye on UCF. I don't want to discount the defense because they stopped what Utah was good at, and Utah couldn't. They didn't have a secondary thing to do, which makes a good offense. They're a one-dimensional offense, and you hammered that one dimension.
Yeah.
So I can't say good enough things about this defense, but a lot has been said, and you can attest on the chat line and anywhere else we talk about Texas Tech football, that the strength and conditioning coaches have taken some hits, right? Why is everybody always getting hurt? Why are we always failing in the fourth quarter? What is this? Why is that? Well, one team looked fresh in the fourth.
Yeah.
And the elevation only looked like it was affecting one defense there in the second half.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Texas Tech.
Well, I remember just in passing at one point during an availability, Skylar Howard said that he worked out in Colorado a lot. So I wasn't worried about the elevation or anything like that with some of those guys anyway. And clearly they are, and it helps, right, that you are able to rotate people in.
Yes.
But
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
they certainly.
something that we never. I think we've taken that for granted in the past. And we talked about it a lot, that the depth, you finally have quality depth, but
yeah, we're not talking about
I haven't really seen it.
Jalen Hutchings and Tony Bradford having to play the entire games anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying.
They play twice as many snaps in the Big 12 as other people at their position.
Yeah. And I don't care how in shape you are. That's going to wear you down. Nice shirt, by the way.
Victory Monday.
I'm wearing black for whoever lost the pick'em this week because I didn't.
We'll get through that as well today. I added 2 punishments to the text line yesterday, but y'all didn't respond to those. We're going to have to put those on the wheel. If Lucas accepts. More after this. 7.7 the score.
So
See you on the bench.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Back to the chat line real quick. John Daly had 5 quarterback sacks in the first 3 games. He must be really good. He is. And now 6, I think, through 4. That's pretty good pace. So you think if you have 4 games 3 times, that's 18 sacks. Now, I don't know how he'll average that in the next 8 Big 12 games, but this texter says 4 or 5 teams could be Utah. What does that mean? Beat Utah? Be Utah? Beat? You think it's beat?
Yeah.
4 or 5 teams in the Big 12? In the country?
No, I think in the country it would be more than 4 or 5, to be quite honest with you.
I would assume it's conference.
Yeah, I would go with conference. I would think every team in the top 12 could beat
I
Utah.
think if he's trying to tell us that the Tech game is not impressive because they beat Utah, yeah, say 8 or 9. I mean, 4 or 5. That's could beat.
Yeah,
I mean that's impressive.
Yeah, I think there are four.
I think there
four
are
or 5 teams that.
I think there are 8 or 9 teams that could beat Utah in this Big 12 conference.
Yeah, I was going to say 4 or 5 contenders in the Big 12 conference that I'm probably pretty confident in, but they probably were one of them.
Can I reiterate something that I was laughed at for last week?
Sure.
Houston is better than Utah. You didn't laugh at me because you might have thought it preseason.
I was about to say
But Clint Scott laughed at me.
He laughs at you frequently, though. I don't. That might have just been in passing.
Houston is better than Utah.
I think you're doing that as a
I said it
next game
before.
up tactic here.
No, I said it before. I said it before Utah. I could clip it. I said it before Utah.
You're just trying to get on one of those hype videos
No.
that Texas Tech pumps out every 15 minutes. That's what that is.
No. I don't try to do anything. I just say what I'm feeling. What I'm seeing with my eyes.
That should be your goal the rest of the season. See how many hype videos you
I
can
think
get
Dean Connors is better than Wayshawn Parker and Rogers.
Well, if they don't tweet the entire week leading up to it, would be probably a good idea.
That would help. All right, we've got more text rolling in. Love it. Keep texting. We'll check the calendar here.
Your daily look at what's happening in the world of sports, birthdays, and holidays. Let's check the calendar.
It is the fall equinox. Welcome to fall, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be... I've got Memphis weather for some reason.
Man, you're already looking ahead to a bowl game.
What's going on here? No. 93 today.
I think it's going to be 98 tomorrow as well, something like that.
No chance.
No, I've got 98 as the high on this weather app.
Oh, wow. Yeah, 93, 88, well. High on Wednesday, 76.
Yeah, no, it cools off.
79, 82, 79, 73, 74, 75, 76 on the 10-day. So, maybe so. Maybe it is fall. I'm afraid it's a little bit of a false fall, and then we'll have 90-degree weather next week too, but we'll see. It's National Ice Cream Cone Day. No free ads. Where's your favorite place to get an ice cream cone here in Lubbock?
There are so many. I'm not going to give a free ad, but
okay. Yeah, no free ads.
But I'm not. You take me to any ice cream place in town, that I'm going to eat it. I typically go to a fast food one that's closer to my house.
I like the Oklahoma burger chain.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say, but that one's closest to my house.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I didn't say it.
Yeah.
I alluded to it.
Yeah.
I like the marble slab.
No free ads.
Ice cream.
Lucas doesn't care.
I don't care.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I like the chocolate cake, but it's spelled chocolate cake.
Yeah.
On the board. Is that marble slab or Cold Stone?
Cold Stone.
That might be Cold Stone. I hadn't been there in 20 years, probably.
I haven't either, but I still enjoy it.
I like the Sally Skip place too. If you know what I'm talking about. Sally Skip?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that place either.
It's Chainmail Day. You gonna break out your chainmail? Elephant Appreciation Day. And you better celebrate it, because you know why? They don't forget.
They don't.
Dear Diary Day. Do you keep a journal?
No. Do you?
I've bought a journal to start, but I haven't started. Hobbit Day. I'm going to move on.
Frodo?
I'm going to move on from that.
Why?
National White Chocolate Day.
Jason Williams Day?
And World Rhino Day. Lucas, any birthdays?
A few birthdays today. We have Joan Jett turning 67 years old. We have Tom Felton turning 38. best known for his role as Draco in the Harry Potter movies. Then we have Harold Carmichael, 76 years old. He was pretty tall, right? It was like 6'7", maybe. Wide receiver for the Eagles.
6'7".
Oh, 6'8", according to. Sorry to ruin your joke. 6'8".
Darn. And then we have Joshua Palmer turning 26. Spent some years in LA and now he's on the Bills. Hassan Reddick turning 31. And then Jeremy Pena turning 28. Carlos Correa, 31. An individual that would have had a birthday today, Tommy Lasorda, would have had a birthday today.
Shout out to Lasorda. He's got one of my favorite clips of all time.
The one where he's going after the guy that was complaining that he was.
Oh, no.
No, you're thinking Don Zimmer.
Was that Don Zimmer?
That's Don Zimmer, yes. That Pedro Martinez throws to the ground. Yeah. Now, Tommy Lasorda, I guess some Padre or something like that was complaining about throwing at him, and Tommy Lasorda just went on a tirade. But like, why would we throw at a guy that's batting 157 or whatever?
Yes, yeah.
On this day in 1969, Willie Mays becomes the second major league player to hit 600 home runs in a career. On this day in 1993, Nolan Ryan plays his final game at the age of 46 years old, and I believe he was even injured in that game when he played. On this day in 2018, Alan Bowman, 397 yards and 2 touchdowns, and leads Texas Tech to a 41-17 win over 15th-ranked Oklahoma State, ending a 9-game losing streak to the Cowboys. In entertainment news on this day, 1995, a big day. Showgirls was released in movie theaters. You don't remember that because you weren't alive?
Now, hold on. It's got the girl from Saved by the Bell.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Also on that day in 1995, Empire Records was released.
I was also alive in 1995.
I know you were.
Just not watching Showgirls.
Showgirls, I would hope not. What was another one I wanted to share with you, which I thought was nonsensical? In music news, on this day in 2018, Rihanna is appointed as an ambassador for Barbados.
Huh.
Who knew?
Rihanna.
I think that's all the music news I have. In 1869, Richard Wagner's opera Das Rheingold was the first piece of his Ring cycle premiering in Munich, Germany. Rheingold, sorry. My bad. Das Rheingold.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
All right, let's clean up some highs and lows real quick. I had one more Texas Tech. I didn't want to say 17 Texas Tech highs and lows. We can do it throughout the show.
Yeah.
Only 8 Power 4 teams have a 100-plus yard average margin in every game this season. Those teams are 28-0 combined. So their offense is outgaining the other offense by 100-plus. Indiana, Missouri, Penn State, Texas Tech, Washington, UCF, USC, and Houston. Only one of those is 200-plus in every game.
Indiana?
Texas Tech.
Figured it was a good guess.
I'm sure it is. I bet they did it to Illinois this weekend. Maybe Duke got them.
Yeah.
Pretty good, though. Pretty good. I don't like all those teams on the list, but 28-0 through 8 teams, that's pretty solid. I think there's only one 5-0 team. Did you see this? It's Tarleton State.
Yeah.
5-0.
Yeah.
I got a couple of bye weeks here to catch up with everybody else, or everybody else to catch up to them. All right, Lucas, can we play the audio? This is Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach Todd Bowles asked about what he said to his tight end, Payne Durham.
What did Payne Durham say to you when he wrapped his arm around you in that time?
Me and Payne have a relationship not many people know about, and we're secret lovers.
Tom, what did you say during the locker room at the halftime?
That's good. That's good.
You had that as a high? That was definitely his first.
Head coach Todd Bowles and tight end Payne Durham have a relationship not many people know about. They're secret lovers.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that reminds me. I have another high.
You go ahead.
I can't do it.
Oh, that was you? Yeah. Good tweet.
How about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? 3 straight come from behind wins. Now, they were winning most of the game yesterday, and one of the 5 million blocks that resulted into a touchdown yesterday. But, man, kudos to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and whoever is their quarterback.
He goes demon mode in those late game situations. He always has. I just have a PSA real quick, too. I'm the fathlete guy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I see a fat guy make a great play, tweet fathlete.
Yeah.
Linemen, defensive linemen, some running backs, a tight end or two qualify as fathletes. If an Eagles dude makes a play, don't tweet fathlete at me or Rob Breaux. Don't tag me in that. I've seen it. I'm not gonna praise an Eagles player that I don't like and bestow upon him the honor of being a fathlete. I had a bunch of people texting fathlete, and somebody tagged me on Twitter. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. All right, let's do some burning questions.
2 minutes of non-stop in-your-face inquiries with no end in sight. It's time for Burning Questions.
All right, I've made fun of it a couple times today, but I want to ask you guys. Arch Manning, over the weekend, beat Sam Houston State 55-0 with his Texas team. Arch Manning with all the hype in the world, a famous last name, and 7 figures, potentially 8 figures in the bank account.
Yeah.
Just a really bad start to the season. Not very good. Of course, they played a couple of good teams. They finally get a cupcake to deal with, and they dealt with them accordingly. Wade scores a touchdown, stands over the Sam Houston guy, and flexes on him, stares him down for a long time. The internet goes crazy. And Jeff Ketchum, a beat right.
You're really trying to get under my skin, aren't you?
No. Jeff Ketchum today tweets the photo of Arch Manning and just says, "Still processing this." The official account for Texas football says something to the effect of swagger. The SEC network tweets out that Arch Manning has a swagger back. Swagger. Is being up 50 on Sam Houston State and standing over a defender you just scored on swagger? That's my burning question today.
No, I don't think so. Lucas?
No.
It's idiotic, the response to that play.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not certain the words I can use on the radio to describe the play. I think maybe phonetically similar that might work is doofus.
Yeah, it didn't.
Some similar sounds there. Doofus.
They needed something to feel good about.
I feel good about the 55-0.
But maybe the rest of it was mundane.
In no way is that swagger or aura. And then he pushes the head coach, Sarkisian, and goes on a tantrum on the sideline. But it's cool because it's Arch Manning. I'd bench him. If Baron Morton shoved Joey Maguire in the chest or Mac Leftwich in the chest, I don't know that there would be a quarterback controversy. I just want to go to Wheels Hammond.
Are you saying that in general or in this situation? Okay.
In that situation, yeah.
Let's not talk about that today.
Yeah, we're not talking about that today. I just the internet response from Texas fans and the SEC writers was just insane to me. By the way, there was another low that I was going to get to. An SEC writer from ESPN, immediately after the Texas Tech-Utah game, tweets a clip of Joel Klatt saying there's no ranked teams left on Texas Tech or Utah schedules, so they got to win this one. He tweets that there's no ranked teams left on the schedule? How is that possible? Because we don't get 2 and 3 teams ranked early in the season like the SEC. Because 1 and 2 independent Notre Dame is ranked and Arizona State is not. And Utah drops out. Is Florida still ranked?
No, they were not ranked even.
They were last week.
They were not ranked.
They weren't last week?
No, they were not ranked when they played against Miami. Get it
That's
right,
surprising
Rob.
to me.
I've got another
That's
low.
surprising. Well, there's 10 SEC teams ranked. I can't get them all right.
I've got another low. Rob Breaux bringing up the name Jeff Ketchum on this radio show ever.
Well, I'm still processing.
You're spinning the tiny wheel.
I'm still processing Jeff Ketchum's tweets.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. It's the end of the bench. Let's rock out our power rankings quickly here, David and Lucas, if you want to.
Would you like me to go first?
I think I went first last week, so David, go ahead.
Okay, let me find my power ranking
I have mine
email.
if you want me to.
I'm ready.
All right.
All right.
Did you email yourself?
I did email myself.
Nice.
Yeah. That's the way I do it. I keep them all in the same one so I can
Very nice.
reference the previous one.
Yeah.
All right, at 16, I think we don't really need to spend much time on that. We know who that is, Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
After a brief jump in my power rankings, right back where they belong. After the letdown, number 15, West Virginia. At 14, I think I've dropped them a couple of spots. No, actually one spot. Kansas State. We're just going to keep them down there until they figure out things on offense. A 2-spot jump for Central, as Bill Belichick would refer to them. Number 13, 12, Colorado. They also went up a spot. I have 2 teams tied at 10, and the only reason I do this is because I don't think Arizona will get back into my top 10 ever. So just being a nice guy here, Arizona and Cincinnati tied for 10th with Iowa State looming for the Wildcats. I think that run in my top 10 will go away. 9th, BYU. 8th is Baylor, who I had dropped 5 spots after their loss. That might be a little too much of a drop, but the way Kansas played on offense against a crappy team and that won how they should have, they jump up to 7th. Utah drops 4 spots for me to 6th. Houston, a 1-spot jump for not doing anything. They're at my 5th spot. And this is my biggest mover. The TCU Horned Frogs, all the way up to 4th. We'll see how long that lasts. Basically, I did this like an AP voter would that's working in cahoots with ABC. And I want a really high-ranked matchup. So I've got 2 really good Big 12 teams, number 4 against number 3 this week. Arizona State on Friday, right? That's a Friday game.
Yeah, big game of the week.
Way to waste a good game on a Friday night. And number 2, after being my number 1 all season long, they have dropped a spot. Cyclones fall behind the Red Raiders who belong at number one at this point, in my mind. Even after one good game against a one-dimensional offense. And the way the offense looked in the second half was pretty impressive.
We're very similar.
Really?
Very similar. So bottom four, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, Kansas State, UCF. Kansas State drops UCF up to 13. Colorado, which I really probably should have UCF over Colorado.
Yes, I believe that as well, but Colorado switching back to probably the right quarterback has me keeping them a little higher, I believe.
Then I have Arizona at 11, Cincinnati at 10. Something backwards there from you.
They were tied at 10 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then BYU at 9, Baylor 8. And I've said publicly I think Houston's better than Utah, but I just can't do it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But one more game, and I probably will. But Houston 7, Utah 6, Kansas 5. So that's Houston and Kansas flipped for us.
Yes.
And then top four the same. TCU, Arizona State, both moving up. Iowa State at 2, and Texas Tech at 1, though they've been my 1 all year.
My note by TCU was the bit is dead.
Yeah.
So
you tried.
I tried. I tried so hard that I put him as a loser in my pick.
I think TCU might beat Arizona. Where is that game?
I think it's in Tempe, I believe.
Okay. It should be closer then. Should be closer. Lucas, do you want to add anything there?
Mine's kind of along the same paths. I've got Oklahoma State coming in.
Clean sweep.
Yeah, last. Then I've got Colorado. I just don't like them, so I'm going to put them at the very bottom. Kansas State, West Virginia, Cincinnati, and then Houston. That's kind of like my first bracket, I guess, first tier. And then I've got UCF, Arizona, Baylor, BYU, and Kansas in the middle. And then the top 5 Utah, 4 Arizona State, 3 TCU, 2 Iowa State, and then 1 Texas Tech.
I like it. Good job, Lucas. Not quite as good over the weekend. All right, we all hit Tulsa. We all lost Baylor. We all started 1-1. It wasn't quite chronological like that, but we'll just say it because that's the order we picked them in. And then Daniel, the caller, 5 straight wins. I had 3 straight wins. Lucas had the TCU SMU game. You picked SMU, David.
I did.
You picked Kansas. He picked West Virginia. Everyone picked Kansas, but Lucas. That was kind of mean on my part to put that game on there. I baited.
You knew
I baited it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
North Carolina lost to UCF. Rob and the caller picked UCF. I don't know why I did third person there. Collier and Lucas both picked North Carolina, which I thought was a fine pick. Did not turn out that way. I had Nebraska, so did Lucas. Michigan won. Collier and the caller both had Michigan. The caller beat us on an island, Indiana over Illinois. Lucas beat us on an island with the Commanders. And if you're keeping track, at this point, I've got 4 losses, while Collier and Lucas have 4 losses. By the way, we all swept Texas Tech and OU. So it all came down to the afternoon game, Bears, Cowboys. And on an island, the third island win of the day, Collier picked the Bears. Congratulations, Collier. Lucas, we will spin the wheel on Wednesday.
I'm going to be sick that day.
We'll spin it without you.
You seemed pretty sick yesterday.
We'll spin it without you. I would have had the tiebreaker if I needed it.
Sick of Russell Wilson.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you were.
So technically, I got second, I guess, technically. It doesn't feel like it. Collier finishes third with the tiebreaker, and we were a point off of each other. And then winning the weekend was Daniel, the caller. So congratulations to Daniel. I will say, Lucas, I added a couple punishments yesterday that I don't know that you'll accept. But one of them was clown makeup for a show, which doesn't affect you as much. I guess it'd just be clown makeup for a photo or a video. I'm not going to make you dance again. And then the other one that I added was grow a rat tail.
I don't know that really affects him that much either. But
you can't do it in a week. But that's a long-term punishment.
Yeah. How long do you have to keep it?
I think you have to grow a rat tail. I don't know. I want to say certainly until the end of the pick season.
Oh, you would have to have it the entire time?
Well, that'd be through bowl season, I guess.
Yeah.
Or until you get a perfect week.
Working at my seasonal job would be very entertaining.
Oh, those people don't care. You know, if I walked into a sausage shop and saw a guy with a rat tail, I'd trust him even more. Honestly. So would you accept rat tail and clown makeup?
Right now, I'll accept the rat tail. Okay. I'll think about the clown makeup.
All right.
You could probably have the rat tail really quick if you just shaved the rest of your head and just had a rat tail.
Honestly, Lucas, the rat tail might be a move for you. All right, we'll hit Ask the Benchwarmers on the other side.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. This texter says, going to be tough to move up with the strength of schedule going forward. You want Arizona State to win this weekend. If they do, they'll be ranked. You want them to be undefeated until you play them. They'll be ranked. BYU gets respect nationally as a brand. Mm-hmm. If they keep winning or maybe lose one before they get to you, they'll be highly ranked. You're going to have at least 3 ranked wins, hopefully, if you beat Arizona State and BYU. Now, I don't know that Texas Tech's going undefeated. Nobody does. But I think they're good enough
time
to...
travelers do.
What?
Said time travelers do.
That's true. I wish I was a time traveler.
That's what a time traveler would say.
I think, though, if the schedule falls right, and if Arizona State takes care of business, that'll be a top 20 matchup. If BYU takes care of business, that could be a top 15 matchup. So there are some opportunities left on your schedule. I think Houston's way better than not ranked and probably not even receiving any votes. I think UCF potentially is ranked by the time you play them.
Yeah, somebody on the chat line said if they beat Kansas, they are probably going to be ranked. I realize that's a lot later in the season. But.
So we'll see. Oh, and then Kansas could bounce back from Memphis. Probably not Missouri, sorry. Probably not by the time you play them, but Kansas could absolutely be ranked. Kamo says, my daughter's a senior at Oklahoma State. Was curious the student feelings on Gundy. Her exact words were, he got to go.
Unfortunately, Kamo, that's not going to affect her unless she's going to grad school.
I would be more interested in the 30-year-old Oklahoma State fan than the 22-year-old.
Yeah.
Because they only know, well, I guess let's see, 21 to, if you're a 4-year senior, you saw him play in the Big 12 Championship? 21, 22, 23, 24?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, that'd be 25. So 22. See, I'm not a time traveler. I thought it was 2024 still.
You're trying to throw the scent off here.
I'm not smart enough to do that. Bullfighter says sausage shoppers. Is that a horse named Sausage Shopper? It might be. Watching the offense from Tech Saturday, do y'all like the flow of what we do this year better than last year?
Did you say, do we like the flow better the last half than we did the first half? Is that what that said?
No, last year.
Oh.
Better than last year, yeah. Last year.
I think, I think so.
We'll do the second half versus the first half on Wednesday.
Oh, I just read it wrong.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying we'll do it Wednesday.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
there was no flow. Well, to be fair, there was not much flow in the first half. And I'm not talking that thing we're going to talk about on Wednesday. I mean, there were like 7 false starts, maybe 5 of them that were in the first half. But I think you can argue there wasn't much flow there.
But offensively, I like the scheme this year better than last year. Yes.
Yes, I can agree with that. By the way, just to clarify, Bullfighter probably did not get the theme right, and KMO was more correct because I knew Don Williams would chime in on this. Not necessarily on this show, but on another post on social media. Because, after all, it's not technically a bye week. It's an open week.
Yeah.
As he's so eloquently typed on another thing on Twitter. A bye is a round you don't have to play in a tournament and automatically advance. A team that isn't scheduled on a particular week during the regular season has an open date or is idle. So, therefore, KMO was correct with the theme, and Bullfighter was not.
I think it was Timo.
Timo. Sorry. Timo is the Timu version of KMO.
I didn't say that. That was David Collier.
That was Lucas White.
All right, get your questions in for Ask the Benchwarmers. We've got about 5 minutes left here. You can get those in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I got a couple questions here for you, Collier.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me get to them. Should the Big 12 copy the SEC scheduling format?
Yes, I would love for the Big 12 to have the thing that is supposed to come out later tonight, right?
I think Tuesday night.
It's been
scooped.
But it's been scooped.
Allegedly by Chris Lowe of On3.
But if the Big 12, if you had 3 rivals,
yes,
yeah, I would be all about that.
100%.
I would try to make them as regional as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, sometimes you're not going to be able to do that with West Virginia and
again, one team does not, just because one team's in another team's 3 doesn't mean that team's in the other team's 3.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? No, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
It doesn't mean they have the same 3.
Yes, which
that's what I was trying to say. I have it here.
Okay.
So I'll stay away from.
Yeah, just stay away from that team
so
because
Florida,
we can't talk about.
So
teams.
Florida is Georgia, South Carolina, and Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia is Auburn, Florida, and South Carolina. Kentucky is Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina. So there's some overlap there. Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Auburn, Tennessee, Mississippi State. Do you like Mississippi State's Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Alabama?
I actually don't mind that.
I was talking about the resident Mississippi State
I
fan.
know.
I don't like the Alabama.
Well, yeah, but you're going to have to have somebody.
Soon you might like it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But honestly,
Lane Kiffin might be gone.
Honestly, I'd rather have Kentucky than Vanderbilt.
Okay.
That's just me, though.
You're the first person on planet Earth that says that they want Kentucky as a football rival, other than maybe an easy win.
Right.
Yeah, no, I would love for the Big 12 to do that. And I fear that they won't because the SEC did it. And I don't think that's necessarily the right way to approach that. The SEC has had to have done something right in the world of football in the last 25 years, right? I mean, you can at least concede that. So sharing their idea for having 3 rivals that you play on a regular basis isn't.
Yeah. How about this? Is Dave Aranda the next head coach at UCLA?
Well, you need a little more. So we're going from one lack of personality to another lack of personality? I don't think so. I did just get new from that betonline.ag new odds for your favorite in the Big 12 Conference. Utah was the favorite. They are now tied for 6th. And you can imagine who the favorite is.
Yeah, it's Texas Tech, and it's pretty short odds. And I think TCU is second shortest.
Let me pull it up here.
That could be a different book you're looking at.
Arizona State, TCU both tied at 5-1. Yeah,
5-1, and
Texas
Tech
is
is
5-2.
Okay, so 2.5-1.
Yeah. Why anybody would have put any money on this? Oklahoma State was 40-1. They are now 300-1. I would love to see the person that's putting money on Oklahoma State to win the Big 12 Conference and ask them for a loan.
I saw an Oklahoma State fan this week tweeted out hotel cancellations in Arlington. It's like, all right. I think we're good to cancel these. We lost to Tulsa. Whoop. We're going to talk a lot of Will Hammond and Baron Morton this week. Just wanted to give it a day. But as we close here, I think there is, perception is reality. So I think nationally there's a quarterback controversy in Lubbock. We'll discuss that tomorrow. The bottom line up next.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.